Martial arts is more than just fighting or killing. It is a way of life that includes making love, a way of truly achieving love, a way of ordering a society, a way of taking form. We will talk about the Millennium Project, foreign aid, and conceptions of manhood, as well as the idea that there can only be one tribe of Africans that outperforms the rest due to cultural factors and genetic factors. First and foremost, because they're pretty much all poor. The slate in that regard is almost equal. Some countries like Egypt and Ethiopia are a little bit more developed than other countries. South Africa in some ways, in other ways, definitely not, full of AIDS and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, the Igbos have emerged as Africa's most successful when it comes to morality, spirituality, intelligence, and physical prowess as a group. Okay, their descendants, their relatives, pretty much dominate the entire world in terms of true success, not perceived without considering obstructions and obstacles. It's funny how the same people in denial on the right will consider obstruction of justice, but they won't consider how their groups and their races and their country obstructs justice for black people and causes them to be sabotaged. You know, this country was built on sabotage and kind of dishonorable dealings. You know, the Louisiana Purchase, California, and the states that were taken from Mexico, they put in smallpox on the blankets of Native Americans. Slavery itself, it was built on indifference, denial of moral responsibility, denial of a true moral lifestyle, a refusal to man up, and ultimately despicable conceptions of manhood and masculinity. That is what created this country. So let us review the idea first so no one misses what is going on. I don't want any sissies to take the facts from this video and reorder them in a way that makes it seem like their despicable movement is correct. That is particularly pernicious. Only indecorous, indignant fools and ruffians and knaves could possibly do such a thing. The idea is clear. Think about how the world works, study it, use your sociologists, use your advisors, use your race-based groups and your closed societies and your privileged country club bitches. Analyze this thing and say, hey, if we throw a lot of money at these people as a nation, not from our private accounts, mind you, but from the U.S. Treasury as a nation, people are going to say, we're sick of these people not being able to use these funds in a way that solves their problem. They're just take, and they're not responsible with our money. They're warlords, they're drug dealers. And those people who see this thing for what it really is, who are rational, functionalist, pragmatic, they are realists, right? Which has to do with the Age of Enlightenment that created this despicable nation. Okay, those people are going to say, hey, let's be real about this. The white establishment, the governing class, the globalists are never going to treat these people fairly. Let's extract the gays, the people willing to be gay, the people willing to be feminists, the people who are willing to be more democratic and freedom-loving, satanic liberation. Let's extract those people, those cowardly surviving pussies, and let's allow them to wipe out the rest. That is the idea. If you do not get that, you are an idiot. If you do not admit that publicly, you are a coward. There is no way around that. Now that we have established that, the white man's burden. Okay, notice it's not the black man's waist is not the title. It is not a black person, from what I gather, who made this book. Okay, this is almost certainly a white person or Jew, something to that effect. The white man's burden. Okay, it is not the black man's burden or the black man's mishandling of funds. It is the white man's burden, his design, his money, his cultural imperialism, his agenda. 2.3 trillion in foreign aid, I believe in the last 20 years, has been given to Africa to help repair it. And they have failed to give $3 to each new mother, which would have prevented 5 million deaths, to buy $4 mosquito nets to prevent millions of deaths. They have failed to do these basic sorts of things, and the people who just happen to fight in a way that brings in world white supremacy and globalism and the international elites agenda, including the Jewish bankers and so on, and these pharmaceutical companies and these population control people like Bill Gates and Rockefeller, these privileged elitists who have their conceptions of masculinity playing in their favor. The provider, the white collar provider as the ideal man, and not the true martial art hero. All these people just happen to benefit from how this plays out, where the financial burden is placed on the nation, not these philanthropists who just happen to invest in a way that in the long term is going to make them seem like ideal men, and everybody is going to be basically their sex slaves under a large degree of propaganda that has been refined for decades, if not hundreds of years, if not thousands. There's no missing that. If I analyze this thing myself, I myself could have taken that $2.3 trillion and I could have developed these nations effectively, starting with the most deserving, most intelligent, and hardworking people, and from there, it would have spread everywhere else. Certainly emergency relief to these people. Mosquito nets, no problem. Certainly, I would have used my connections to make this happen. I'm not even that well connected at all. This is incompetence. That 2.3 trillion shows that you have a problem with governance. Why couldn't you foresee that these funds would be mishandled? If for nothing else, are they that stupid? You have the most powerful military in the world, military bases around the world, and you're collaborating with the UK and Russia and on, and China and so on. Why couldn't you people distribute that 2.3 trillion effectively? There is no excuse for that kind of ignorance, dishonor, and incompetence. That is intellectual inferiority. Period. Done. Now let's look at the Millennium Development Goals, which, again, this book is from 2006, which they intended to reach by 2015, which they didn't reach. Why didn't you reach your goals? You certainly seem to be looking like, you seem to be importing all kinds of attractive women. You seem to be having your way with everything. Everyone's kissing your ass. You get top shelf pussy. Your old money continues to be inherited by your hell spawn. Why couldn't you reach your goals? All you nations together. What, you think we're stupid? You think we blame the poor guys that you don't get the money to? Or the people you left behind, who you left in charge, or who just happened to be in charge when you left, who are basically your goat-riding butt buddies. How stupid do you think we are? The Millennium Development Goals for 2015. Number 1, eradicate extreme poverty and hunger. They couldn't even do that. Number 2, achieve universal primary school enrollment. Despicably fell short. Number 3, of course, that would mean that these people would now compete with the races that you have been arguing from a eugenic perspective, from a clan perspective, from an Aryan Brotherhood perspective, from a Jewish kind of intellectual perspective, on and on. You've been arguing that your people are superior for a long time. Are any of us wondering why these people haven't been given a fair shake in terms of education? Of course you don't want to compete with them. You want to pretend you're superior so that when you die, God makes you suffer because you're fucking dishonorable and stupid and you don't really believe in God. Satanism is the problem. Atheism is the problem, not the solution. Fake religions are the problem, not the solution. The only solution is the martial art order. You are liars, you are cowards, you are incompetent. Nobody should ever doubt that for a moment, and if they do publicly, they should be shot. There is no excuse for that kind of harmful ignorance and stupidity and dishonor. Number 3, promote gender equality and empower women. Notice it's number 3. Let's see. You have been successful there to a ridiculous degree. No matter what anyone says, there's a war on terror that's about promoting gender equality. Okay, the most successful Africans are people that ride the gender equality dick. Okay, they eat a gender equality pussy. Okay, These are the people who sabotage their own tribes and betray their own customs, mores, ceremonies, rituals, and cultures. These are the people who are successful. These are the people you're extracting. Make no mistake, that was the plan the whole time, and to get you to blame the governance of colored people in Africa. That is part of the plan. So when the smoke clears, you have put these people beneath you definitively, pretending it is their genetic insufficiencies, quote unquote, that has landed them in inferior positions in society, and not your sabotage, you despicable cowards that refuse to even highlight that you put smallpox laced blankets in the Native American communities, which contributed greatly to them being wiped out by famine and disease first and foremost. You are cowards. You are liars, and no one in their right mind gives you respect. No one in their right mind sleeps with you. Everyone in their right mind wants to kill you, period. And yes, we despise your hell spawn, you stupid fucks. Anyway, number 4, to reduce child mortality. Oh yeah, Rockefeller and Bill Gates and the richest people in the world really care about that. Perhaps that guy who owns Amazon, okay? His customer base is a bunch of poor people. No. He caters to the rich. He's a bitch. Number 5, improve maternal health. Oh yeah, you've really succeeded there. Number 6, combat HIV, AIDS, malaria, and other diseases. Everyone knows who's into geopolitics knows that you use AIDS as a bargaining chip. If you want us to help you with your AIDS problem that we almost certainly caused, I mean, you'd be an idiot not to think that they caused it, okay? Then you must suck our goat dick. You must suck an Uncle Sam dick and say, I am inferior, massa. Please, let me bend over for you and do what I can to help you build your despicable satanic nation. Nobody in their right mind misses that. You're bitches. Number 7, ensure environmental sustainability. Oh, how cute. You know, kill the people, save the planet. Number 8, develop a global partnership for development. You know, a new world order as your stated plan. When it comes to these despicable parts, gender equality, destroying cultures, destroying monarchies, denying people like me their rightful place so you can present your eugenic argument in your demographic in the loving demographic and the scholarly community. A bunch of bitches. So let's look at manhood, shall we? And let's connect it to this. Why are they doing this? It has to do with destroying manhood. It's right there in the root word of man. Okay? Superman, right? He's a hero. It goes back to supernatural and so on and so forth. Okay? Superman, superpowers, superhero. Not Super Lex Luthor Superman, but the hero who is poor, relatively poor. So, basically, the word were is an old English word that means adult male. And that goes back to Horus as Har-were, Horus the Elder, the form of Horus that united Egypt. It was actually about being a man and not a con man. Okay, and of course, being a con man also is they're conning you about the fact that they're a man. When you really look at the word and think about the idea, so we get the word man is an old English word, M-A-N-N, which is also meant to be used on an unspecified gender. That person is a man, right? Where we get the idea of human, human. That person is a man, that person's a human. So the word man itself used to be this, we don't know what gender it is. This man right here, right? Which would also refer to an unspecified gender. It's a gender neutral term from a gender neutral culture. That is their intellectual class. They're gender neutral bitches.